All right, I think we are ready to dig into today's program. Thank you for joining us for our March 2024 edition of the LAER Monthly Boot Camp. This boot camp we deliver every single month on the first Friday of every month. It's a 3-hour program from 9 to noon. We're going to try to shorten it a little bit today, although every time I say that, we end up taking up the entire 3 hours. But it is jam-packed with great information, everything you need to begin really digging into 2024. We're going to talk about tools, training, technology, tons of marketing stuff. Now, I can already see by looking that we have a great mix. Some of you that are on today are LAER agents, so you'll be very familiar with some of the tools, training, and technology that we go over. However, we also always open up all of our training to real estate agents from any brokerage. Now, you're probably thinking, well, even though since I'm from another brokerage, I'm not going to be able to access a lot of the tools that they talk about today, so maybe I'll log off. That is absolutely not the case. In fact, we set up everything we do at LAER so that it's easily accessible for any real estate agent at any brokerage. Especially, we're going to talk about literally thousands of dollars of great marketing pieces, buyer presentations, seller presentations, buyer guides, seller guides. That's why agents come onto our program, our boot camp, a few times a year, because we're always adding new tools, training, and technology that is open for every agent. So with that said, I am going to dig into today's content. Now, I always like to remind everybody, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. The true power is in execution. So the question is, what will you be executing on after you leave today's program? I super appreciate all the agents that join us every month, either through the Zoom or on our Facebook groups. However, we want you to do something. If you're going to invest 3 hours of your priceless time into learning something new for your business, it's really important that you execute. Now, we're going to share over the next few hours so much content that it can be overwhelming. So what I always recommend is have a goal of just writing down 5 items of 5 things that you're going to go execute on today. You can always come back and watch the program again. In fact, if you head over now to our YouTube station, which is youtube.com/LAER training, you can watch the recording of this half hour after it's over today. It'll still be there, and you can go back and pull out additional information. But the goal is just to write down your 5 things that you're going to go execute on. I'm going to give you some hints along the way, some of the things that I think you should really work on, especially this year with the climate changing a little bit in our business. Definitely you need to have a buyer presentation, buyer guides. You have to have a really great package when you're meeting with your buyer clients. And so right in the first hour today, we're going to share some amazing tools for you to go start building a really nice buyer portfolio so that you move into 2024 regardless of what decisions are made in these realtor lawsuits, etc. It's not going to affect your business because you're going to be prepared with great content. So the goal is to write down 5 items that you're going to go execute on. And again, I will share some of those with you, some of the things that I think are nice, easy ones you can go execute on as we make our way throughout today's program. So first thing I want to direct everybody to is what you're looking at right now is our program and services guide. Again, if you came on just a few minutes late, doesn't matter. You do not have to be a LAER agent to get tons of stuff today. We're going to give you Canva marketing materials, tools, some really cool technologies to implement into your business. You do not have to be a LAER agent to enjoy many of the privileges that LAER agents get being part of our company. So first thing we're looking at is the LAER Program and Services Guide. This is a 40-page comprehensive guide. Typically, it's a tool that we use when agents join our brokerage. To get the most recent one, by the way, we update this every 3 to 6 months because our tools, training, and technology are always changing. The most recent update is September 2023 version. We'll be looking at a new version sometime this spring. You can download a copy of this at laerrealty.com. That's LAER, laerrealty.com/success tools. There you could see the guide. So as soon as you land on the page, you'll see the guide. And then if you scroll to the very bottom of the page, there's a PDF version, so you can download it. I think that one of the great ways to take notes in today's program is to just print it out, so you could take notes as we go along as to the things that you want to execute on. So you can also go back and refer to it throughout the month as you are executing on items. What's really cool about the guide is as you go through it, you'll see lots of things that are underlined. I'll point those out along the way. Those underlines are actually hyperlinks. So we wanted this to be an interactive guide that you could utilize in your business. So wherever you see a hyperlink, it is designed so each page talks about a tool, a training, or a technology. And as you make your way through the guide, it is organized in 4 sections. The first section is marketing, which we're going to cover for the first hour today, is just really good comprehensive marketing tools for you to utilize in your business. The first section is marketing. The second section is technology. So we're going to cover some really cool technologies for your business. Third section is training and coaching. And then the fourth is just support services. But as you make your way through the guide, each page will talk about a tool, a training, or a technology. And if you have it open on your screen and you see something underlined, you can actually go explore that tool or training or technology further by just clicking through the links. You'll find tutorial videos and help guides to help you along your way. So with that, again, it was laerrealty.com/success tools. Okay, really quick, not going to spend a lot of time on this, but people always ask, who is LAER? We're basically a residential real estate brokerage. We do some commercial as well. We have about 800 real estate agents throughout New England and Florida, and expanding into some additional states as well. We are 10 years old. We're independent. And where we got our name from is from the very beginning, our goal was to help agents live their best life possible. We want every agent, regardless of what company you work for, to become the best version of yourself. And that is why we've made a conscious decision to not password protect all of the great content and tools and marketing pieces that we offer to our agents, because our goal is to help every agent be the best version of themselves. So when we launched our company 10 years ago, at that time, we knew that we wanted to build our company by helping talented agents. So what is a talented agent in real estate? So we define great agents as agents that are strong, that are negotiators of difficult terrain, just meaning that really great agents are really good at overcoming obstacles. And third, really great agents are true protectors of their customers or clients. They're not looking for a dollar. They are looking to build relationships and help people. And at the time, 10 years ago, when we put all those words into a Google search, strong, protector, negotiator, a lion came up in our search. So we said, that's it. We're going to build our brand around the lions of real estate. Lions in the jungle stick together in layers. And so since we are building our brokerage around the lions of real estate, we named our brokerage LAER. We did change the spelling of LAER because ours is the mirror image of real, since we're in the real estate business. And we created the acronym Local Agents Extraordinary Results. So I tell people, sometimes you see lion statues in front of a home or in front of a walkway. That's because the lion is a symbol of protection for the home. We look at it that our LAER agents are also a symbol of protecting the homeowners and the homes for the people that we do business with. So that's just a little history on LAER, and now we can kind of dig into this program guide. So again, you can download this at laerrealty.com/success tools. It's about 40 pages. The first few pages go through our LAER cultural values, only because we kind of put these everywhere within our brokerage. We hang them in posters, we put them in a lot of our guides. I do like to always point out we are an independent real estate brokerage, in that we are not affiliated with a franchise. We are not a franchise. We do have some cool partnership opportunities for brokerages that are interested in using the tools, training, and technology of LAER, but it is not a franchise contract. Not a fan of franchise contracts, only because they're very one way. We want people that are excited to work at LAER, to be at LAER, and if they are not, then by all means, we want to make it easy that they don't have to be here. Okay, let's dive into the good stuff. We have only 3 hours. I'm gonna try to cut it a little bit short today, but who knows if I'll succeed at that. I mentioned the booklet is divided into 4 sections. The first section, and we're gonna spend over an hour today just talking about marketing, because I want you, if by chance you can't stay for the whole thing, many agents come on each month and they say, I'm only gonna stay for a half an hour. And then they end up staying for the whole thing because there's just so much content jammed into the entire presentation. But I wanted to make sure that we get into your hands some really good stuff for your business. So the first section of our guide is our marketing and branding stuff. And this is where we're going to spend some time today, at least this morning. It is at laeragentservices.com. This dashboard you will want to bookmark on your browser, because I promise you, this is a page that you are going to come back to many times in your career, because there's so much content and it is always changing. I'm about to give you thousands of dollars worth of really unbelievable content for your business. Everything you need to have a successful 2024, we're going to cover in the next hour, and you can find it all at laeragentservices.com. So if you go to laeragentservices.com, we try to make it super simple, very, very simple. And you'll see that we put all the good content inside our houses here, because what do we do as real estate agents all day long? We visit houses. So we want to fill our houses with really awesome content that you guys can use to build your business. So we're at laeragentservices.com. Couple things I just want to point out. At the very top here, there's like a little, kind of like a little directory, a little menu at the top. Most of these menu items just take you further down into additional houses. However, one thing I do want to point out, if you are a LAER agent watching this today, you can get our staff schedules right up here. There's a little calendar of all the staff schedules, only because if you have, we have 40 offices or so, and let's just say you want to have somebody drop off something at the office for you or something like that, and you want to make sure somebody's there to pick it up. You could click on the host schedule and see who's going to be in what office and what hours they're going to be there. I also really want to point out for LAER agents, there is, every month we put out a newsletter of all the things happening. It's all like the great tools, training, technology available at LAER. Let I don't know why that's not pulling up, but that's okay. I can type. Oh, there it is. Just slow, just my slow internet. So this is our monthly internal newsletter of everything happening within our company. But I also do want to point out that it's a 4-page newsletter, and our amazing committees of agents that volunteer their time and resources do put together some comprehensive stuff that is shared in this newsletter each month. So it comes out every single month. And you'll find, like, for example, there's a phenomenal resource kit for buyer agents right on here. You can actually click through these. So you'll see we have a resource kit for New England agents and a resource kit for Florida agents. What you'll find in these resource kits are a buyer representation presentation, a buyer representation book, buyer representation scripts, seller scripts, all the buyer agency agreements for all the states we do business in. We also did one for Florida. The agents work slightly different, so we had to do a slightly different presentation, like a buyer presentation. Same with our buyer representation book. Florida's slightly different, so we have 2 different books. But I'm going to show you where you guys could find these anyways in a few minutes. I just wanted you to know, because all these things any agent can utilize. Of course, if you're with another brokerage, you'll want to make sure that your broker agrees with all the stuff that we've put into the buyer representation presentation, for example. So protect yourself that way, but I promise you we've done all the legwork on making these beautiful presentations. They're all in Canva format so that you can go and customize them for yourself. But make sure you check out this newsletter every month, because there's just so much, there's just so much content that is built into them. One of the things we also put into our newsletter for February is just a reminder that the National Association of Realtors is offering the ABR course, Accredited Buyer Representative course, which is an amazing course. Usually agents pay like $300 to take this course, but because of everything happening within the marketplace, realtors can now take this for free for 2024. So if you go to our newsletter, you can actually click on the link and it'll take you over to the registration page, so you can become an accredited buyer rep for no cost. So make sure, if you're a LAER agent, that you check out our newsletter each month. And if you want to share information with something happening within the company, you could submit news, and that goes to our little news team so that they can update next month's newsletter. And then all the other items on here at the very top of the menu will just take you down further into one of the houses that you'll see below. Right at the top here, if you happen to be a newly joined agent at LAER, there's some really great resources here. The first link is our program and services guide, which is the guide we started with today. We also have a section of frequently asked questions for agents. And then Tell the World is just a whole bunch of marketing pieces for agents that recently joined LAER to go in and start customizing. We then welcome all of our newest agents to LAER right at the top. We had about 20 to 30 agents join our brokerage each month. So each month, as new agents join, we share a picture of them, let you know which office they're joining. And then there's a little bio. If you want to click on that and find out who your new peer is at LAER, you can click on these and learn a little bit about that person. Now let's get down to the marketing, branding, and presentation. Okay, take out your pens, because this is where you're going to start to write down the things that you need to go execute on after you leave today's program. And the very first, this is the most clicked button on our entire LAER agent services. By the way, I just want to point out that nothing here is password protected. As I said, even if you are not a LAER agent, I promise you, you're going to get as much information today, all the same great content as a LAER agent. We do that on purpose. We do not password protect. We don't think success is a secret. We're not trying to hoard information like some brokerages try to do. We honestly want to just help everybody become the best versions of themselves. So let's take a look at what you could find over at guides, presentations, and brochures. Now, little thing that you need to know about LAER is that all of our marketing stuff is done in Canva. So a couple things. Let's talk about Canva for a second. Now, many years ago, before there was Canva, our brokerage was using Adobe, like Adobe Marketing, to create beautiful presentations and brochures. And boy, was it a pain to work with Adobe, because really you kind of needed to take a lot of classes to get in and utilize Adobe to do marketing stuff. And so it was not built for a layman. It was not built for somebody that sells real estate to go in and make changes to a marketing piece. Then came along Canva. So Canva had everything that Adobe did. We could make the most beautiful presentations and buyer presentations, seller presentations, brochures, booklets, guides, magazines, social media posts. We could do all of it. And the best part is we could share the templates with agents, and then the agents could go in and do further customization on their own. So we're a huge fan of Canva for that reason. Even if you've never used it, I promise you, it's so easy. Anybody can use it. So there's two different versions of Canva. There's a free version, and then there's a version that I think it's $13 or $14 a month. It's super inexpensive. Maybe $150 or $160 a year, maybe. For what it can do for your business, I urge everybody to have the paid version of Canva. Now, there's the free version and the paid version of Canva. What is the difference between them? Well, the coolest part of the paid version of Canva is that you get a lot of stock images. That is, like when you see on a website or a marketing piece, a stock image of a beautiful home, or a stock image of home buyers unpacking in their home. Could be stock images of anything. If you have the paid version of Canva, you get probably millions. It's so many stock images that you couldn't ever possibly use them all. And we're in the marketing business. So I think you want to have access to as many stock images as possible. Now, one of the things to note is as you are opening some of our templates here, because what's cool is now that I'm sharing this with you, you guys have all these templates too. So as you're opening these templates, if you have the free version of Canva, what you are going to find is that if we design a brochure or a presentation and we at LAER used the premium version of Canva, the paid version, there's probably going to be images within our presentation or brochure that are stock images that we had access to because we have the paid version of Canva. So what will happen is if you have the free version of Canva, when you open the documents, for example, maybe you open the buyer representation presentation. When you open it, you're going to see watermarks across some images. It's not a lot of images. It's probably 2 or 3 images throughout a document, which means that you will have to switch out that image for an image that you own. By the way, always be super careful. This is why I like the paid version of Canva, is because in our business, it is too easy. Many agents will go off of like Google Images to take a free image off Google. You can get sued for that, for copyright infringement, if you do not have permission to use the image. That's why you're much better off using the paid version of Canva, because with your subscription, you're getting access, the privilege to use those, all their images. And so, worst cases, if you say, nope, I really just need the free version of Canva, I don't want to pay for it right now, just know that as you go through some of our pieces, you're going to have to switch out some of the images, because there'll be a big Canva watermark across the image, and it won't let you download the presentation or the brochure. It won't let you do anything until you switch out the image. But the cool thing is you can upload images. So you could go get your own picture and upload your own picture in place of the image that we've used. So the other thing is the paid version of Canva has some other bells and whistles as well, such as you can do social media sharing, like you could schedule out your social media posts right from within Canva, things like that. Some really cool stuff in there. So let's take a look. Let's explore a little, just some of this stuff. And by the way, we're constantly adding new stuff in here. You'll see as I scroll down, there's stuff, and it looks like we're missing a couple of things that are still being added. For example, I can see that the most recent buyer guide and the Florida buyer representation agreement haven't been uploaded today. So we'll ask Sergio to get those uploaded sometime today. Those are just the most recent additions to our marketing pieces. But a couple things I want to go through here. First, especially because of the climate of what we're going through, our most recent guide to buyer representation. This is like a PowerPoint booklet. And so this is meant to be that when you have a new buyer that you're working on, you would bring the buyer to your office and do a presentation about all the value that you bring to the table as a buyer agent. Again, the Florida one is slightly different. So if you're a Florida agent, we'll make sure that the Florida version of this is uploaded by the end of the day. As well, we created some matching booklets to go along with this. So let's see. Just want to present this for you so you could see some of the stuff that we have in here. So basically, this is our buyer presentation. It's in a presentation format, like a PowerPoint format almost. In fact, you can download it as a PowerPoint. If you're not a LAER agent, you can go through and customize as much as you want. So you could take out our logos and put in your stuff. You'll definitely want to update this with your contact information and stuff like that. But then you'll see that we have this 10-step buying process. The first part is evaluation, consultation, and representation. Do I need a buyer's agent? What does a buyer agent do? How agents are paid? What your realtor agrees to under a buyer representation contract, what your what the buyer agrees to do as well. So there's like a set of terms. What is the agent agreeing to do under a buyer rep contract, and what is the consumer agreeing to under the contract? We then have some sample buyer representation agreements, and so you would put in the one that you utilize. We also have the request for seller contribution, which is very common, becoming more common in Massachusetts. Next, we have step 2 of the 10 steps, determining a comfortable price range and evaluating mortgage options, shopping for more than rate, getting pre-approved, mortgage insurance. Step 3, evaluate communities, commuting distance and access to transit, school reports, crime. Shopping for a home is step 4. This is really important. I'm going to cover this multiple times throughout today's presentation because this is really important for agents. Now, I get that there are real estate agents that buy Zillow leads. This has nothing to do with that. By all means, if you like buying Zillow leads, you can continue to do that. However, for the buyers and sellers that, for the most part, as a real estate agent, your business is going to be built off of the people who know, like, and trust you. Successful real estate agents build spheres of influence. And one of the biggest problems within our business, I would almost call it a plague for our business, is Zillow. If you are not talking about Zillow on your buyer presentations and your listing presentations, I guarantee you lose business each year to Zillow. So the reason why we embed it in here is this is a buyer representation agreement. Zillow is in the business of getting people onto their website and keeping them super engaged. So it's important in your presentations, anytime you talk to buyers and sellers, to have the Zillow conversation. Hey, let me tell you about Zillow. Many home buyers go to Zillow and start their home search there. We just want to let you know that by doing that, first of all, the Zillow home search is not the best home search option for any buyer. If you're a real estate agent, by the way, and you have not gone on to Zillow to search real estate as if you were a buyer, you should do that because Zillow is imperfect. First of all, it only allows searches in most communities. $50,000 is the price increment. So you can't do a super narrow search on price. Also, you'll note that a lot of the information is outdated. So what we tell our buyers is be careful of searching on Zillow, because too often I've had a buyer fall in love with a house on Zillow only to find out it went under agreement a week ago and the site just hasn't been updated yet. Also, many buyers think they're contacting a listing agent for some privileged information on the property. And in reality, we all know as real estate agents, they're not getting that, the listing agent. They're getting somebody who is paid for the lead. And that is typically not a super vetted agent. It is whichever agent is willing to pay for the lead. And then also explaining to consumers, if you do sign up for the Zillow website, you will be inundated with sales calls, both from real estate agents and mortgage professionals. So our goal as real estate agents should be to try to keep our clients away from Zillow. By the way, that means that you also have to have a place that they can go search real estate where they can get everything they think they get from Zillow without getting inundated with sales calls, but also like a better search mechanism. But we'll cover that later on in our presentation. We also want to talk about in our buyer presentation what they should do about open houses, because that's the other place where we typically can easily lose a customer. It's either that they've gone to Zillow and they find a property and they end up getting led down a yellow brick road by the Zillow algorithms, or they end up at an open house. So we've embedded that into this presentation. We also have a conversation about what the buyer should do with off-market properties. Then we have step 5, property due diligence. Step 6, pricing and offer strategies, what to do in bidding wars. Step 7, writing the offer, what to do if the offer is rejected, what to do if the offer is accepted. Step 8, we have inspections, what to do if there's too many repairs that need to be done. Talk about home warranty in here. Step 9, appraisal and mortgage conditions. We talk about that. By the way, this is a great place that we can prevent our own customers from getting declined from the mortgage. So all the stuff that consumers do by accident, like quitting a job in the middle of a transaction, that's where we have this conversation. We have whole classes that go through just this presentation. And then step 10, the closing. Final walkthrough, closing documents, etc. Again, this is all meant to be customized by you. If you're not a LAER agent, you can go through and take out some of the branded pages. We also talk about the importance of working with a realtor, since at LAER we are all realtors. So that is our buyer presentation. I think it's phenomenal. Again, if you're a Florida agent, in Florida, we do a lot of transaction representation. So we have a second version of this that we'll have Sergio make sure is uploaded by the end of today. We also have a buyer guide that matches this presentation. So if you want like a booklet version of that presentation, that will make sure we're updated by today as well. So that's our buyer presentation, a guide to buyer representation. There's literally tons of other items on here. I do want to point out that this is one of the 5 things you should write down that you're going to go execute on. If you have not yet created a buyer representation presentation, because of the changing climate of the marketplace, you have to be as good at representing your value as you are at a listing presentation. Many of you guys have listing presentations that you show up and you do a presentation just like I did, but it's formatted to the seller. Now we have to do that with buyers. It's more important than ever because we have to have important conversations about how we're getting paid and who's paying and who you're representing. So if you do not have a buyer representation presentation yet, that is something that you should be working on now. If you're a LAER agent, we also have a 4-page brochure about our brokerage. You can go in and add your information in here. By the way, just in case there's you guys have any or you've never used Canva, I want to make sure that you realize that when you open a template, you change the template because it becomes your template. So that means that once you open the template and start customizing it, it's now on your Canva. It doesn't become part of our Canva. So you can feel free to go through and add take out logos, stuff like that. We also have these really cool, we have one for buyers and one for sellers. I think they're super cute. They're like a flyer format. So if you click on this, I think this is the seller one. This is like a flyer, 8.5 by 11 flyer that goes through the process of selling a home. We have also won a monopoly board of buying a home. So you would go in, change out your photo, put your contact information, and then you have a beautiful piece. Let's see. We also have, by the way, you go down a little bit more, you've got the buyer page, that same monopoly board, but it's a buyer one. We have a weekly listing report. This is also in Canva. This is if you want a document that you just update each week to send to a seller. So you have a nice listing and each week you want to update that for the seller. You could do that. We also have our trusted vendor piece in here. This one's really important. One of the things I'm going to show you guys, in case you haven't seen it yet, last year, LAER came out with Algorwin workbook. And this is a 100-page workbook, and it shows you how to get to 30 transactions a year by implementing a very specific algorithm for success. The algorithm was developed by studying high-performing agents, all of which do $10 million a year in business. Anyways, part of that Algorwin program is building a vendor referral program. So we'll come back to this a little more, but I think this should be a number 2 in your business. If you don't have a vendor list of the people that you highly recommend for your business, time to start making one. Not only is it people you recommend for like mortgage and title and stuff like that, but also it's people that you recommend for painting and landscaping, people in your communities, because this is how you can start to build one-on-one relationships with the people in your communities. The cool thing about building vendor relationships is it has been said that the average human knows about 140 people. So friends, family, acquaintances, people they went to school with, people they've known over the years. But it is also said that somebody that owns a business has 10 times the number of people within their sphere. So by tapping into vendor networks, you can build a very significant business. I'll come back to that a little bit later, but just so you guys know, there's a really nice vendor page there. I also really love this little vendor locals guide. So if you click on this is like a little teeny 2-page newsletter, and it's a guide to like the cool things in town that you want to refer people to. So let's just say you're a West Palm Beach agent and you have a West Palm Beach listing, then this takes about an hour maybe to complete. You would make a locals guide to West Palm Beach. We've already created the template here. You just go fill in the blanks. So you'd find your favorite farmers market, just put a little information in their website, your favorite boutiques, your favorite coffee shops, your favorite place for brunch. These are cool for like your buyer packages and your seller packages, cool to give out at open houses, and really cool to leave at the vendor. So at your favorite coffee shop, if you've noticed this as one of the best places for coffee, the coffee shop is probably receptive to having you leave your locals guide at the coffee shop. So that's another cool piece. Let's see. Just like I showed you guys the buyer presentation, we have the listing presentation is in here as well. And we have an expired listing package. So we have a seller guide, a buyer guide. These are all booklet format. We have a seller guide, a buyer guide, expired listing packet, and an investor guide. So these are all meant to be customized by you. So let's take a look at, for example, the buyer's guide. Just click on that. And this one, let's see. This one's like 16 pages. So you can go in and delete on Canva. You can delete out entire pages if you want to, or you can delete out logos. You can add your contact information. So we put a page here for you to put like your bio and stuff like that. So really great little booklets. Same with, we have investor's guide if you're doing like an investor seminar. All of these little booklets are great for seminars. Let's say you're doing a seminar for investors. I would go in and print these, go through, you got to customize it first, which means if you're a LAER agent, the customization is basically just adding your name, bio, and photo. If you're an outside broker, you just got to update logos as well. But all the heavy lifting is done for you. Again, we have a buyer guide, a seller guide, investor guide, and expired listing guide. So those are 4 really useful guides that you could be using at like seminars, putting them into your presentations, etc. So those are the key pieces. This gets updated. We get new stuff added all the time to our Canva template page. So a couple things. Oh, by the way, if you're a LAER agent, we also have a flyer in here that just talks about the boost. We automatically do some paid advertising on every new listing. You can go in and have a flyer just to put into your listing package that talks about how we do the paid advertising on each new listing. Anyways, there's lots of stuff. I didn't go through everything here. There's still more great content for you guys to go on and explore. Now, a couple of things to think about as we talk about it. I already said, if you have not already created your buyer representation presentation or a buyer presentation of some sort, that is one of the 5 things you should go execute on. I have a feeling that you're going to want to go in and execute on a few other items in here. For example, you should have in my opinion, a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. What would you put in the packages? So on your buyer package, I think it should include the buyer guide, which we showed you here. You might put the Monopoly board, buying a home, like the little steps to buying a home. If it's a sustainable property, you could include the sustainability report if you're a LAER agent. You could put your vendor list in there, the locals guide you could put in there. So you want like a really nice little package that you give out to buyers. Same with sellers. So for sellers, you would have the seller booklet that we clicked through. So your little book, that's like a 15-page book on getting your house ready for sale. You might do a brochure. If you're a LAER agent, I would definitely do the LAER brochure. I would do a marketing template, a 20-point marketing plan. So we have that in there for you. I'd also do a sample listing sheet. So we have one of those in there for you. I'd also do the locals guide, my favorite vendor list, things like that. So the idea is you want to have a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. Now, the reason for that is because you want to be open for business all the time, right? So, by having those packages always ready and with you, super easy that if you meet a buyer at Starbucks today, you're at Starbucks getting a coffee, standing in line, and you hear the person talking about the fact that they're going to be buying a house. What a great opportunity. After you grab your coffee, just say, I'm going to run outside. I have a great package I want to give you. I think you might find some really good tips in there for buying, and I'll include my business card in there so that if you are seeking out a real estate agent, you will have my contact information. Same with seller guides, same with investor guides. Have your packages all done. By having your packages complete, it basically tells the universe that you're open for business. We all know that a big key to success in our business is the energy that we put out. So whatever energy we're putting out, we will get back. So you want to put an energy out that you are open for business. So that is why I would recommend, if you don't have a buyer package, an investor package, and a seller package, and again, these would just go into like a folder. So I'd have 10 of them for each. 10 buyer, 10 seller, 10 investor packages, all printed and ready to hand out to people. And it's just letting the universe know that you're open for business. And then when you leave the house each day, it's your goal to try to give away those packages. Try to listen for conversations and hear what's happening in the marketplace, and give out your packages to people that could use them. So that's just all under the marketing section. Again, when you open it, it becomes your version of the document. We also have the weekly social media assistant. We're going to have Sergio cover this in a little bit. But if you're a LAER agent, as you know, every Monday we send you all of your social media content. We text it to you and we email it to you. But we also put it here under the weekly social media assistant. So if you want to go back and grab some of our old social media posts, for example, you can get them here. If you're a LAER agent, we also take special marketing requests at no charge to you. So if you're a LAER agent and you need a postcard created or an advertisement created, you can head out and create that. Just fill out the form there that goes to our marketing department. Open house resources. This is a cool little house to visit. We have a bunch of different resources in here for open houses. We'll go from the bottom to the top. First, always make sure you have cool stuff for kids to do at your open houses. That way, if their parents show up at your open house, the kids are busy. Just have like a little table with stuff for them to do. So we have some little coloring sheets and mazes and stuff like that. We also think it's a good idea to have some little takeaway gifts for people who are coming to your open house so that they can walk away with a little gift from you. Nothing crazy expensive. In fact, we recommend microwave popcorn. So just a little popcorn, and we make these little tags. These are all in Canva, so you could just go in and customize it and tape them right to your microwave popcorn. It just says, "Thanks for popping by the open house," and you put your name and phone number in there. Let's see. We also have different versions of open house sign-in sheets. Also, sometimes agents like to have like little signs throughout the house, like welcome signs or thanks for visiting or please take your shoes off. Thanks for showing the house. So these are just cute little signs. Remember to lock all the doors. Please turn off all the lights. So we've created these nice little signs. You can go in and further customize them. Two things, if you are a LAER agent watching today, if you are doing a broker open house, we want to encourage our 800 agents to come out and visit you at your open house. So we have a little form there that if you click on the broker open house notification and fill out some information about your open house, it will notify all of the LAER agents that are in your marketplace that you have an open house coming up. As well, if you're a LAER agent and you need somebody to cover an open house for you, we have this cool open house coverage form you can fill out. You just fill out where is the open house you need somebody to do for you, date and time, things like that. You fill this out. This then sends out a notification to all the agents, all the LAER agents in that marketplace who would be thrilled to do your open house for you. So that's all under the open house resources. We've also, this is fairly new for us, but as I said, this site changes literally every month because we're constantly adding new content. With the change in the market last year, 2023, we at LAER were promoting for agents to go find new niches, find new pillars of business opportunity. And many agents found commercial real estate. So we've been building our portfolio of marketing pieces and training pieces to accommodate the commercial agents as well. So for example, if you click here, you'll find a commercial listing presentation. We have a commercial offering memorandum. So the presentation is like a booklet format. So you'll see it's 8.5 by 11. I think it's around 25 pages. Let's see, talks about commercial real estate. You're not seeing it great only because I didn't open it all the way. Let's see. So this is a 25-page booklet. This is specifically designed for agents that need like a presentation for commercial real estate. We have a commercial offering memorandum. So this is like a really nice multi-page brochure if you're doing a commercial transaction. We also have commercial valuation models. All of our LAER commercial logos are here. If you're a commercial agent and want to join our commercial network, you don't have to be a LAER agent, but we have commercial agents that meet once a month. And if you want to meet with them just to toss around ideas, they usually bring in speakers each month that pertain to the commercial market. You can do it there. Also, we have a LAER commercial Facebook group, which is just agents sharing their newest listings, stuff like that. Also, we highly recommend if you're a residential agent that wants to get into commercial real estate, there's a great course here. It's commercial real estate for residential agents. You can click on that and check out that course. Okay, next, signs, apparel, and print marketing. So let's take a look at this window. Some really cool stuff in here. Now, if you're a LAER agent, there's a lot of stuff in the very top here for specifically LAER agents. If you want custom signs, custom LAER signs, we have D sign, Oakley sign, and Lowen sign that if you click on these boxes, it'll take you over to the page with all the pre-designed LAER signs. We also have all the pre-designed LAER business cards, pins, stuff like that, which you can get at Markful, and apparel. So if you want like LAER branded gear, you can click on these. But down here we have print marketing. Super important. This might be one of those things that you add to your list of things that you're going to go execute on. So some of you that are watching today have probably been in the business for a very long time, just as I have been in the business now, owned brokerages for 25 years. And in the old days, it was not uncommon to see, you'd go to an office and you would see agents like stamping postcards or printing postcards on a printer, putting their labels on the postcards, and then putting their stamps on them and sending them. This is absolutely never a good use of your time. The reason I say this is because still sometimes I'll go to an office and I'll see an agent sitting there like putting labels on their mailers. Not a good use of your time, only because literally there are so much easier ways to do this. And so people will say, well, it's less expensive if I do it. It's only less expensive if you put no value on your time. Your time is valuable. There's a price on your time. So if you want to get mailers out super inexpensively, so it doesn't cost you a lot of money and it's super easy to do, there are so many wonderful programs for getting your print marketing out. Let's talk about a couple. By the way, I like to always premise this by saying, I don't make anything from these companies. So I'm not getting, there's no bias. I'm not making money to promote these companies. I just think that they all add tremendous value to a real estate agent's business. First one is MLS mailings. I'm clicking on these only because pricing has changed, only because pricing at the post office has changed. MLS Mailings is a company that specializes in just listed, just sold postcards. What is a little bit different about them is that they hook into your MLS. So you sign up, you have a new listing, you go in, you sign up once, and you put in your photo, your logo, your contact information, and then you tell the system, every time I list a house, I would like 100 postcards to go to all the neighbors. And every time I sell a house, I want 100 postcards to go to all the neighbors. It's set it and forget it. And by the way, anytime you can find a set it and forget it system for your business, it's essential that you sign up because it's the only way you can scale your business. There's only one you, and eventually there's not enough hours in the day. So you need to find ways to scale. This is one of the ways to scale, is just know that you've set up this program. So the system does send you a reminder. So if you're worried, like, I don't want to just send it out automatically, It is automated to the point that it will send you the postcard. So every time you list a new property, it knows it just from MLS. Same with when you sell a property, it knows it. It's pulling from your MLS. And they automatically create the piece. They email it to you and they say, we're about to send this out. And if you don't respond, they will absolutely send it out. You do have the ability to say, I don't want it to go out, in which case they won't send it. You also have the ability to go in and change the picture, say that you want a different photo of the house, you can do that. I just think, like, don't get bogged down in the details of like making things perfect. Anything that is just done for you, you kind of have to sign up for, in my opinion, in order to eventually scale your business. So I clicked over here just so you guys could see the pricing behind it. So it's $125 for the jumbo postcard. That sends out 100. So you could set this up that every time you list or sell a house, you want 100 postcards to go out at each of the milestones. So new listing or just sold. It'll send out your 100 postcards, or you could do the smaller postcards at $92. So I think it's phenomenal, mostly because it's set it and forget it, and set it and forget it in our business is absolutely priceless. The other site I highly recommend is TPMCO, the personal marketing company. And I always forget which one. I think it's this one. The TPMCO has a few different programs that they have, but there's one in particular. So they do all kinds of mailers, but the one I wanted to show you, I think it's this one, automated client follow-up. Yes, this is it. So this program, the automated client follow-up program, and again, it's tpmco.com, the personal marketing company.com. This company charges $48. It's a one-time charge of $48. So you pay once, $48. And then over 5 years, they send 21 mailings to customer. This one, I feel like every time you close on a property, that customer should go into this program. So once you close on a sale, that client should go into this 21 mailings over 5 years campaign, so that you don't forget them. We already know from National Association of Realtors statistics that real estate agents do forget their clients after a sale, because we get that sale done that now we're like super concentrating on the next sale, that we forget to do anything with that person who just closed on a transaction. But that person that just closed on the transaction is often a raving fan. That person is most likely to refer you because you're still fresh in their mind. This program keeps you fresh in their mind. This is another set it and forget it program. So a one-time charge, as soon as somebody closes, you log into the system, you add them to your list. And what's cool is that the mailers all are a little different. Sometimes they'll get a postcard, sometimes they'll get a magazine from you. But most importantly, everything that they get, those 21 mailers over 5 years, they're all going to have your photo, your contact information, and it gives the appearance that you didn't forget about that person. So that's TPMCO, the Personal Marketing Co. Next, Wise Pelican. Also a huge fan of Wise Pelican. Wise Pelican is also a marketing company. This marketing company was built by a realtor, and he built his business doing print marketing, mailing campaigns throughout Arizona. And this is what I love about Wise Pelican. They have the ability on their pieces, on their print marketing pieces, that they will build you a free market analysis page where the consumer could scan their scan a QR code, and Wise Pelican creates all this for you. The consumer scans a QR code that takes them over to a page where they can get a free market analysis on their home. So one of the things that agents sometimes forget to do when creating marketing pieces is have a call to action to capture who's actually engaging in the postcard. Wise Pelican does not forget that. So huge fan of the Wise Pelican mailers. I'm not going to go into the pricing on that, only because it depends on how many pieces and stuff like that you're doing. So those are three big ones I highly recommend. Yellow Letters Complete is also kind of cool. Yellow Letters Complete I've used in the past for, let's just say that during the holidays, you want to send a handwritten holiday card to 400 people within your database. That's where Yellow Letters Complete comes in. You upload your database to them and they will handwrite the 400 letters. They have two different versions. There's a less expensive version where you can do like a computer generated handwriting, but also if you want, they will actually have people handwrite notes for you. So this is for doing like bulk send outs of handwritten stuff. The reason why they're called Yellow Letters Complete is because we have some of our foreclosure agents use them, where they'll send out little yellow letters on yellow lined paper with a handwritten note to people who are going into foreclosure or properties that are dilapidated, and they want to give the appearance that they just handwrote them a little note on a yellow piece of paper. And then RSP, Data Driven Marketing, just another really cool postcard company. So those are some of the recommended ones. Let's go back to your list. I said at the beginning of today, you need to write down probably 5 things that you're going to go execute on in your business. Why? Because knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential. Power is, where are you executing? Where are you executing in your business? Because your success this year, 2024, and always, by the way, has little to do with how much information you know. The reason I say this is because I've been in the business long enough where I do see real estate agents that get super engaged and take 1 million classes and never turn it into business. So since you are spending this time with us today, we want you to be converting your knowledge into income. That means that you must execute on some of the information that you take in. That's no easy feat, especially in a 3-hour program where we're giving you so much content. But if you just write down the 5 things that you're going to go execute on, as I said before, you can always come back whenever you want and rewatch the program. So you can go to our YouTube station. It's youtube.com/LAER training. You can come back this afternoon and watch a specific piece. So if there's like one piece that you missed and you want to watch that piece, you'll be able to fast forward to that one section that you're very interested in seeing. But most important, we want you to execute. Again, your success is not going to come down to how much information you know. Your success is going to come down to how much information you execute on. So that was under, we're still at LAERagentservices.com. That was under signs, apparel, and print marketing. Couple other things before we move on. Believe it or not, we're halfway through the program and we're still only on like page 5 of our program guide. So there's some other stuff that we want you guys to see here. First of all, one piece that our team does come out with every month, this is also in Canva, is if in real estate, by the way, there's 2 different types of newsletters that agents utilize for their business. One is a print newsletter. The other is an email newsletter. This is a print newsletter. If you want to be sending a print newsletter to your database on a monthly basis, this is where you can do it. So we have two different versions. It's the same exact newsletter, but one is on tabloid 11 by 17 paper, and one is just 4 pages on 8.5 by 11 paper. I'm going to click on it. This changes every month, just so you know, but want to give you, we call it the ROAR report, but you can change all this and you could call it whatever you want. This is our March version of it. And there's all these interesting articles that we put in there for you. By the way, you'll see each month we have like a little quiz contest where you would have a winner to your quiz. So that's a piece that you have to change every month because it's you hosting the quiz. So you're selecting the winner and you're giving them gift card, for example, to Dunkin' Donuts or to Starbucks. So you have to change that. The reason why we put these little red circles is so that it's a reminder of the stuff you need to change on there. Now, one thing I just want to note, this is a print newsletter. Any of it can be customized. So one thing that some of our agents do is if you want to be mailing these to your database monthly, a cool thing to do is to feature one of the vendors. We talked about the vendors a little while ago, having your vendor list, and you want to really be cultivating that vendor list. In other words, you want that to be more than just a list of people that you refer to, because you want to be getting business from your vendors. So that means, like, let's just say that you have an amazing landscaper that you do business with, and they're on your vendor list. You would reach out to that landscaper and say, oh, I'm putting together my newsletter for this month, and I send it to 200 people in the marketplace who I've done business with. I wanted to see if I could feature you on my newsletter. Do you have time that we could meet for coffee so I could just ask you about your business so I can make a little article for you where I'm going to feature your landscaping business on my newsletter? You go meet them for coffee. All of this is because you want to get business as well. So you bring your business cards, you ask them about their business, and you say, once I have my newsletter done, I'll send you some. The cool thing about this then becomes a tool for building a relationship with somebody. In fact, every month, if you do your ROAR report, every month you're cultivating relationships with vendors. Then you would just delete out one of the articles in this 4-page newsletter and feature your vendor. And you're building a relationship. Of course, make sure they're also on your vendor list. And always, of course, asking them to reciprocate and send you some business as well. So that newsletter comes out every single month, comes out around the end of the month for the next month. If you're a LAER agent, we have tons of logos and images under this section. And if you're a fan of pop-bys or stopping by and visiting your customers or past customers or your sphere of influence each month, we have all these amazingly cute little tags that you can print out and put on your pop-bys. So let's see what we have. We have spring is coming up. So let's just say you wanted to have some cute little tags. These ones are tags meant for seeds or a flower, if you wanted to bring a little flower. So the idea is you would go in and customize the tags, print them out, and then tape them onto either the seeds that you're dropping off at somebody's house or the plant that you're dropping off at somebody's house. It gives you an excuse to go visit people to build your sphere of influence. It's always nice to show up and have a little gift for the person that you're visiting because it gives you a reason to be there. And oh, by the way, you can always ask them if they know of anybody looking to buy or sell a home. All right, next up, so that was all under our marketing, branding, and presentation section of our site. We have a few other pieces that you'll definitely want to check out on this page. First is our agent growth and development section. if you click on classes, meetings, and coaching, you'll find a few things. Number one, you're always welcome. Any agent is welcome to attend our training programs. If you click on our training calendar, you'll see a calendar, and it shows you all the upcoming classes. As well, once a month, we do a sales meeting for the whole company. It's on the second Wednesday of the month. You can go sign up for it by clicking on this link. Also, a few other things I really want to point out. We have a YouTube station with hundreds of training classes, literally hundreds. So head on over to youtube.com/LAER training. The cool thing about subscribing to the LAER training YouTube station is that it makes it so much easier to not miss. We offer so much content and so much training that it's really, I guarantee you, there's classes that you miss throughout the year that you wish you had attended. This just gives you, if you subscribe, you'll just get a little notification each time that we upload a class. So it'll say LAER Realty just uploaded the boot camp, for example. So that it just makes it a lot easier. It just pings you. So you'll say like, oh, that's a class that I want to go watch later. So all you have to do is just go over to youtube.com/LAER training and subscribe. We also have LAER University. Because we have so much training content, we kind of clean out our YouTube station every year or so and put a lot of the older content at LAER University, but that content is really good too. So we don't want to get rid of old content just because it's older, especially if it still has value. So we also have hundreds of training classes at LAERuniversity.com. One thing I want to point out, because this is kind of new, we went through in January of this year and uploaded LAERrealty.com/transaction blueprint. And we have, this is awesome if you're a newer agent. So if you're a newer agent and you need some help with your business, we've created all these awesome little guides for you. So we have a real estate agent's guide to home inspection, a real estate agent's guide to lead paint, procuring costs, best practices. And what's cool about these is like they're super comprehensive. So if you're a newer agent, for example, and you want to know like what happens at a home inspection, this is a 51-page book that we wrote. Like 51 pages of everything. But what's cool is it's also broken down. Like we kind of show all the pieces of a house to consider. And then we broke it down. So like there's a whole section about different types of plumbing and a whole section about different types of, let's see what this one is, roofs, what to look for in a roof, common foundation problems, what to look for with fireplaces, fuse boxes, electrical issues, plumbing issues. This is not because you have to be a home inspector, but you should have a working knowledge as a real estate agent of how the systems of a home work. So that is our home inspection version. We also have a guide to lead paint for real estate agents, procuring costs, best practices. Let's see. Also, we built out all these little tutorials for real estate agents. So if you need help filling out a particular form, we have little guides on how, like little 5 to 10 minute videos on how to do those forms. That's under the New Agent Resource Center. So that's all under classes, meetings, and coaching. Also, we have a section on business planning and growth systems. I talked about this a little bit before, but last year we wrote a 100-page workbook. It's called Algorwin. And this is a guide to helping agents get to 30 transactions a year. And one of the hardest parts of being a real estate agent is that you have to wake up and decide what you're going to work on every day. That's not always easy because it's very easy to get led down a rabbit hole of stuff that doesn't actually make you money. So this system teaches you how to build and work a business. We basically studied the agents that do $10 million a year in business. So agents that make about $250,000 per year in business. And what we noticed is that all of the agents that do $10 million a year in transactions, there's certain things that all of them do consistently. And so with that, we built this system. Very simple to go through. You can actually go download our book, download this book, this workbook, and it will walk you through the entire system. But what's cool about it is it's basically just 7 checklists. So 7 checklists of things that you need to work on. So there's a yearly checklist, a monthly checklist, a weekly checklist. And then once you start doing business, then there's these other checklists that you have to bring into your business. So like a new listing checklist, a new seller appointment checklist, a new buyer appointment checklist, and a client appreciation event checklist. The entire program is 7 checklists. Most of the checklists are not very long. So most of the checklists only have 9 items on the checklist. So there's like, for example, the once a year checklist, the annual checklist has all the things that you need to do to set yourself up for success for the year. This is important. We don't want you to immediately start doing the monthly and the weekly checklist if you haven't done the yearly checklist, because there's certain things that agents do that make it so that even if they do all the other things, they have not set themselves up for success to get business properly. So for example, one thing that we teach in the booklet is, if you Googled you, would you hire you? So this is probably one of the things you should go do as part of your 5 things that you're going to execute on. Go Google your name and put like real estate. So your name in real estate or your name in the town that you work in, and see what comes up on the first page of a Google search. The reason why this is so important, and by the way, it's oftentimes overlooked by real estate agents. In fact, don't get discouraged if you find that the first page of your Google search is like terrible, because that's common. But go fix it, because one of the first things somebody does when they're recommended to a new real estate agent is they go Google them. Just like you guys would do if your daughter brought home a new boyfriend or things like that. Anytime we get referred to somebody who's kind of a stranger to us, the first thing you do is go Google them. So under this program, we say once a year, there's 12 things you need to do to set yourself up for success on all the other things that you do. And one of the things is go Google yourself. And then we tell you what commonly comes up in a Google search so that you can go fix each one. You should have a professional bio. You should have a professional picture of yourself on anything that comes up on the first page of a Google search. Because if you think about it, you're in the business of marketing real estate. So how would a consumer feel that they Google your name and on the first page of a Google search, the bio that you have, maybe you don't even have a bio, or the bio that is out there says that you work at a company that you left 3 years ago. It doesn't send a great message to the person that has just Googled you. So this entire workbook is phenomenal. We've had agents that their business is absolutely changed from the Alcorn system. So we don't have time to cover all of it today. We've done some brief overview sessions of the program on our YouTube station. And then here you can just go download the booklet as well and work your way through it. We also have some other business planning guides. This is a traditional business planning guide. This is like a 45-page workbook, like a fill-in-the-blank workbook. This is traditional real estate business planning. So these are really cool, by the way, to print these out if you've got like a team meeting or something, and have all the team work on these together. We also created another different type of business planning tool. It's called the Simple Plan. And it's really it's different in that in order for you to do more business, you have to become a different version of yourself. And this guide helps you focus on how you become that different version of yourself. So where do you stand right now? Where do you plan to be in 1 year? And where's the gaps? Like, what is the future version of yourself doing in order to become that future version of yourself? And then we also have a cool checklist down here. It's called the IPA checklist. That means income producing activities checklist. Super important because when you get slow, it's easy to like go down these rabbit holes of work that doesn't amount to anything. So you want to always be working on stuff that is going to generate income for your business. So we have a little income producing activities checklist under that page. Let's see. If you go down a little bit further, some other cool pieces I just want to show you guys. Tech tools. If you're a LAER agent and you sign up for any of our tech tools, we have all the logins right here. So all the different sites, but also we have here two things that everybody should check out. One is a listing description generator. This is under LAER Agent Services, under the LAER Tech Tools. The listing description generator is absolutely phenomenal. In the old days, you used to labor over writing a really good listing description. It could take an hour and a half to write something good. Well, AI can do it for you in 5 minutes, not even. It could do it in 1 minute. So we created this nice simple form, like a Q&A. So you could just fill out some information about the property. You fill it out and the system immediately emails you a listing description. So always go through whatever AI sends you, because as you guys know, there's certain things that you can't say in a listing description, such as like walking distance to Starbucks, for example. So you still have to go through it and read it and make sure that it sounds nice to you and that there's nothing in there that could be considered discriminatory. But for the most part, you're going to use 99% of what the listing description generator creates for you. The other thing is the agent bio generator. I said a few minutes ago, go Google yourself and see whatever comes up on the first page of a Google search. Ask yourself, if I Googled myself, would I hire myself to sell a house? One of the things that you should always show up with, both online and appointments, is a resume or a bio. A listing appointment or a buyer appointment is the same, in my opinion, as an employment application, like showing up, you're interviewing for a job. That's what we do in real estate. We interview for the job of selling somebody's home. So I think great real estate agents should have a very strong bio wherever the consumer is looking. That means in your listing presentation, online, on your website, you should have a really strong bio. Sometimes they're hard to write about ourselves. So we created this little form that you fill out, and then AI will create one for you. And just like the listing description generator, they're pretty awesome. They're pretty awesome bios. And then these are some of the tools, if you're a LAER agent, like the logins for our tools. Oh, a couple things I want to point out for you guys. These are amazing technology pieces as well. Number one, Xiaomi. Xiaomi is an app that you can use where if you need an agent to show a house for you, for example, let's say you are super tied up at open houses all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and now you have a good customer who's in from out of town and also wants to go look at a house, and you cannot be in two places at once. You could go to Xiaomi and pay somebody, a real estate agent, to show the house for you. Now, to become a Xiaomi agent, that agent signs away that they cannot work with the customer beyond they get paid to show the property. So this is an awesome way. If you need somebody to just open a door for you and show a property because you just can't be there, Shawami is awesome. As well, if you are a newer agent and you're looking for some additional income just to for the slow months, you could become a Shawami agent where you can make some income. It's kind of like a Uber where you can go show houses for other people and get paid per showing or per hour for your time. Also, I love HomeBot. HomeBot's just a monthly newsletter that you can put your customers into. And it just gives them a housing report monthly. By the way, you don't really need this if you're a LAER agent with our Real Scout app. Real Scout does the same thing. Home Value Leads is a cool app. I like Home Value Leads because it's a lead capture page. So you can create, it's awesome for like Facebook ads and stuff where you can offer consumers, you give consumers a link to get a free home value report for their property. The system's kind of cool in that it will actually do the actual home value. It will come up with a report. But what I like most about the home value leads is what's called partial leads. Say a consumer goes in and they put in their address first. That's the first screen. It asks for their address. They go in, they put in their address, and then the next page it'll say, oh, we need your email address so we can email you the report. Well, sometimes people then back out. They don't want to give their email address. The system will still create a lead for you. It'll say, it's called a partial lead. So it'll say this person just, the person that lives at 10 Main Street in Westford just filled this out, because that's great information. Oftentimes, the person that doesn't want to leave their email address is a potentially very good customer. They don't want to leave it because they are actually thinking about selling their property and they don't want to have a real estate agent contact them just yet. So you can show up at their house or mail something, or even better, just go knock on their door and bring your seller package that you made and say, I believe you're looking for a value on your property, and so I created it for you, and hand it to them. Last is the Exposio app. I believe that every listing agent should get professional photography on all new listings, because you are a marketing person. Even if it's $100,000 condo, you're still getting hired to market a property, and every listing is an audition for your next customer. So beyond the fact that great photography helps sell a property, it's always you auditioning for future business. Anyways, if you're not doing professional photos, then the next best thing is the Exposio app. It's an app where it'll make your photos look more professional. So if you're taking them with your phone or with your camera, this will enhance the photos to make them look even nicer. You pay per photo. So basically you download the app on your phone, you snap all your photos, and then it'll show you what Exposio will do to each photo. And then I think you pay like $1 a photo or something for the ones that you want to utilize, and then you can download them and use them in your marketing. I recently sold a personal property and I tried Exposio. I first did regular photos with my phone. I then did Exposio. And then I said, just for the heck of it, I'm going to do professional photos for it. And I will tell you, the professional photos absolutely sold the house. So as great as Exposio is, still nothing compared to having professional photography. So that is all under tech tools. Normally our chief sustainability officer comes on and does a great segment on sustainability. We're one of the first real estate brokerages in the country to have a sustainability officer, which is really becoming more and more important because a lot of the laws are changing in many of the states we do business in, as far as building codes, things like that. So if you have an interest in sustainable real estate, we do have a whole section of tools for sustainability. In fact, we're about to release a sustainable listing presentation and a sustainable buyer presentation for agents that really focus on that niche of their business. Let's see. One other piece under the agent toolbox I want you guys to see is the agent safety. We take agent safety very seriously, so we wrote our own guide to agent safety. Highly recommend you guys go take a look at it, this page. You can get to it at laerrealty.com/safety. Go check it out. Some stuff that you don't think about. I'm also kind of a big fan of this Invisaware company. Invisaware is like really cool, pretty jewelry for real estate agents, but it's also a undercover alarm system so that if you ever find yourself in a dangerous predicament, you can notify authorities and notify people you love that you need assistance. And then if you keep going down, we have our brokerage blog. Also, if you are a LAER agent, if you click on the LAER offices, one thing I do want to point out, if you're a LAER agent, is you can access any of our office locations because we're all one company. So if you wanted to access one of the other offices to go show meet a customer or go work out of an office each for a day, you could just click on this and fill out a form with your LAER email, and the system will send you all the information for accessing that office. So that is a lot of information, and we are more than halfway through today's program, but we still have a lot of content. All of that was under laeragentservices.com. So we're only on page 7 of our program and services guide, and we still have a lot of stuff to cover. Next piece, Sergio, are you there? Next up, we have our head of our marketing. Sergio is with us. Just to give you guys a brief, quick overview of the done for you marketing services that we have at LAER. So with that, I invite Sergio.
All right, thanks, Stacey. I'm going to share my screen. One sec. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so just real quick, I'm just going to go over a couple of the programs that we have here at LAER for our LAER agents in terms of marketing. One of them I'm going to go over is our concierge marketing package or our marketing bundle that we send out to agents who have a new listing. When you have a new listing, once it goes on live on the MLS, within 24 hours, you'll receive an email that looks just like this. It says your concierge marketing package, the address. You'll get this via email. So if you are ever, if you're looking for it later on, maybe a month later, just search for your concierge marketing package with your address, and you should find it in your inbox. Now, what does this have? This package that we send out includes a brochure, right? Just a listing sheet brochure. This is all done in Canva by our team, right? So this is not an automated process. We make sure that we choose all the best photos for this listing. We make sure that all of the spelling and everything is all correct, right? So we can provide really high quality, really tailored material for you guys. Now this is a PDF ready to download. Again, this download button here leads you to a Google Drive folder where you can just print directly from this page. You can download this as a PDF. You can send it over to Staples and have some professional printing done. We also include social media pieces for the whole transaction. So we have new listing, we have a featured listing one, so two. So if it's not like a new listing, all the way to just sold. We also include under agreement and some open house social media pieces as well. In this package, we also include a LAER brochure. This is just good to have. It's a great brochure that you can send out to any client if they want to know who LAER is, right? So we include this in every single bundle that we send out, as well as an open house sign-in sheet. this is just a very simple one. If you go to LAER Agent Services, there are more open house resources that you can download, but this is just one that you can have in handy. As well as our offices up here in New England, get a coast to coast flyer, and down in Florida, you also get a New World. These are just our preferred closing firms here. Now we also include Canva templates. Now Stacey mentioned before that we do everything in Canva. We do it because it makes it easy for us to share the original designs with you, and you can go in and update your designs and make changes. So for example, we have our brochure. We click here. Now for the, this is strictly for the bundles themselves. Usually when you click on one of our templates, you'll receive a template and you'll make your own copy. For the bundles themselves, we actually give you the direct link that our team has been working on. So this comes in handy because you can get back to us and say like, hey, I have a listing on 26 Sugar Hill. We had a price improvement. Now you're free to go in here and make changes. You can just click in here and make a change to the price, or you can let us know. You can send us an email at happyagent@laerrealty.com. We can make the changes on our end. We'll update the Google Drive folder, and also you'll see those changes appear live on your Canva doc. Now, because this is a live listing here, I'm going to make a copy just to show you how easy it is to come in here and make changes. So like I said, if there is a price improvement, very quickly and easily, I can just change it over like this. If we have, if we want to change some of the photos, these are all frames. So let me see if I can find a picture of a, there we go. Something like this. I can just very easily click and drag and drop it. Now, when you drag and drop, sometimes it might snap into the wrong frame. As long as you don't let go of the mouse button, just drag over the frame that you want and let go. So just like that, I was able to update this. You can update any of this. You can customize any of this. So if you want to change the phone number, email address, your picture, if you want to update that, the logo, etc., any of this you're able to update. And then when you're ready to print out, you can click on share. You can download this as a PDF to share. You can also download this as an image and share it to social media. We have our social media pieces here as well. So like I said, it follows the whole transaction. So new listing, featured under agreements, open house. Now there are a couple of pieces that we include at the end of this that we don't include in the Google Drive just because we don't have the information yet. So one of them is an open house piece that includes the date and time, right? And we have another one that is for a new price. So, you know, if you do have a price improvement, we won't know the new price. So you can come in here, make the changes that you want. Using these is very easy. So for example, we have this featured listing. Just click on share. We'll download this. So this is the second page. We'll just choose our second page. We can download this as a PNG. Now there's different file types that you can download this as, tons of file types. You can even download it as a video. You can make an animation with it. For now, we'll just download this as in PNG, and I want to show you how easily I can just use this. I'm going to go to this mock-up Facebook page that I have here, click on photo and video, and then we have our image. We can write a caption. Obviously, you want to do a better caption than this, but we'll hit post, and we have our image uploaded. Now, that's just a very simple example of how to do it directly through Facebook. Canva itself also has a connections through social media. So when I click on share, you can also click on share on social. You'll notice that these are different channels that you can share to. We have our Facebook page. We can click on Facebook. Now, I don't have this account connected to a Facebook page, but when you first click on this, it'll ask you to connect to Facebook. As long as you're signed into Facebook, just follow the process. You'll be able to post directly to Facebook from your Canva account. Canva does have a scheduler as well. The pro version of Canva has a scheduler. Now, with the free version of Canva, you can still post to social media. You just have to, when you post, it posts there. You can't do the scheduling part. But if you do want to schedule it, we can click on share to social. And there's usually a scheduler here. 1 second. It might be not enabled. I think I'm on a free account. So when you do have Canva Pro, if we go down to our apps, it's called Content Planner. And from here, you can schedule it. So let's say you wanted to schedule it to go out on Sunday. We have our most recent design. We can open this and then select the channel and open it and schedule it out. So that's just the concierge marketing package. Another thing that Stacey mentioned was our social media. So every Monday, as a LAER agent, you also receive our weekly social media. Now, our team creates 7 to 10 posts for the whole week. So this is the beginning of the month. So we also include some Facebook banners for the beginning of the month. These all also have Canva templates. These are ready to download, right? You can just click on this download button. It will download to your computer. But you can also customize these. You can add logos. You can make changes to the photos, all in Canva just by clicking on this Edit in Canva button. And then we also include suggested captions. So, before we would just give the images. Now we are including suggested captions. Sometimes you don't really know where to start or what to say. You can use these as is. You can just copy and paste them, but you can also use these as a starting point and then customize your captions to fit your local market. So let's do a sample post. We also include a Facebook story, Facebook and Instagram story formats. Now I say Facebook and Instagram just because those are the social media platforms that we use the most, but you can use these on anything. You can use these on X, on Pinterest, on anything. So we'll do this one here. I'm just going to download it directly because I'm not going to make any changes to our logo. It has downloaded to my computer. I'm going to copy my suggested caption. And then I'll click on photo and video. We have our image. I'll paste the suggested caption. Now, like I said, you can add or remove to this. This section here, you can add your contact information. I'm gonna remove this part. And then we have some suggested hashtags as well. And very easily, I can just hit post. And it will post to my page here. And there it is. Now, apart from the email, you also get a text message. So on Monday morning, you also receive a text message. So you can actually do this all from your phone. You can download the image directly to your phone. We have a different UI where you don't even have to copy and paste the text. You can just click on a button. It'll put it on your clipboard, and then you can paste on your social media platform. So as a LAER agent, this is a program that you get. Every single LAER agent gets this. So if at any point you feel you're not getting either the social media program or the marketing concierge package, let us know. You can email us at happyagent@laerrealty.com. We can make sure that you are on all of our lists. And that's it for me. Oh, I think you're muted.
There we go. All right, awesome. Thank you, Sergio.
Of course.
All right, next up we have, let me go back to my screen share. Hold on one sec. All right, we are back at our LAER program and services booklet. So in order to, I'm going to reshare that. Okay. In order to download this, in case you came in a little bit late, you can go to laerrealty.com/success tools. That's our program and services guide. And that's what we've been following throughout the entire presentation so far. Anytime you see a link, that's just so that you can further explore the tool that we talk about on that page. So you just got to hear from Sergio, who went through some of the automation that we do for our agents. If you're a LAER agent, also, when you list a property, we also automatically do marketing boost. So we do 7 days of advertising on Facebook and Instagram. All the leads go directly to you. I always say, like, the leads are cold leads. So on average, you'll get 10 to 20 leads per listing. They're absolutely cold leads, but I still think put them into your database, your set it and forget it marketing systems. And then as well, always use the Boost by HomeSpotter as a tool that you talk about in your listing presentation. Because even if you don't get any lead that turns into income out of us boosting the lead, it's still an opportunity that your seller likes, because it shows that you're taking extra steps to market the property. All right, let's move on to the technology section. As I mentioned, this booklet is broken up into 4 sections. We just spent the last hour and a half covering just the marketing section. And as a reminder, I want to just point out the few things that I think should be on your list of things that you execute on. Again, knowledge is only potential. Execution is where the power comes in. So you want to leave today and execute on some things. So some of the things that we talked about, definitely your buyer presentation. So that in my opinion should be number 1 on your list if you don't have one already. Number 1, a buyer presentation. Number 2, if you don't have these already, I think you should have a buyer package, a seller package, and an investor package. I think you should have 10 of each of them already printed out. And we showed you where you can get all of those tools at laeragentservices.com. Number 3, set it and forget it marketing pieces. So for example, MLS mailings, which does set it and forget it, just listed and just sold postcards. It hooks right into your MLS. And also the personal marketing company, tpmco.com, which is the site that for $48 will keep you in front of your clients for 5 years. I said every any client that you close on should go into that $48 5-year campaign, so people cannot forget about you. So those are some of the big pieces that you should go execute on. This next section, we're going to cover a few different pieces of technology that I think are game changers for your business. Now, if you're a LAER agent, there's some pieces that you get, complimentary technology that you get just for being part of our company. For example, .loop, app files, showing time, cloud CMA, and Boost by HomeSpotter, which does the marketing boost on Facebook and Instagram, as well as G Suite. Those are some of the things that you get for free. As well, one of the things agents ask when they're considering joining a real estate brokerage is, are there any monthly fees associated with being with the company? We do have an optional $39 a month tech bundle. And that $39 a month tech bundle for our technology fee is optional. So we don't require that our agents sign up for it. But there's some really good tools as part of that bundle. In fact, if you're not a LAER agent, I still recommend that you utilize these 3 tools. The 3 tools that you get are Isact, which is a CRM, like a set it and forget it marketing system. You also get Boston Logic, which is an agent website. We have a Florida version and a New England version. And then the third, which is the most important of the three, is Real Scout. Now, each of these are $39 a month. So if you were to go sign up on your own, so if you're not a LAER agent and you like one of these, you can go sign up for any of these for $39 a month. Individually. If you're a LAER agent, because of the number of agents we have, we get a discount on everything. So we're able to bundle everything together for one charge of $39 a month. But I want to give you a quick overview. First of all, let's just talk about the website for a second. Yes, you get a nice website. Our company website is through Boston Logic. And if you sign up for a $39 a month bundle, you get a nice website as part of your package. I'm not going to spend any time on it because I think websites are not important to your business. I think you should have one and I think it should look decent, but I see too many real estate agents labor over making these perfectly beautiful websites that nobody's ever going to visit. They're kind of like a business card, like you should have one and it should look nice, but the amount of business you're going to get from a stagnant website is super low. So I'm not even going to waste any time on this, but I will tell you at LAER, if you do the $39 a month tech bundle, you do get a website with it. The two that are more important are Isaac and Real Scout. Here's why this is so important. I already talked to you guys about Zillow. Zillow is a conversation every real estate agent should be having every single day with every single buyer and every single seller. If you're not talking about Zillow, you're losing business to Zillow because consumers go to Zillow to search for real estate. Zillow is in the business of stealing your customers. So we need to, as an industry, keep our customers off of the Zillow website. Now, of course, I get it. There's agents that buy Zillow leads, and by all means, go buy the leads if you like that. But I'm saying for all of your other business, your sphere of influence, the people that you meet at open houses, you have to be having the conversation with people as to why they should not be on Zillow. That's why we embed it into our listing presentations, our buyer presentations. Not a good idea. They're not even getting a great search product. Now, there's two things. So what does Zillow do really well? Because we're telling our customers, don't go there. It's a waste of your time to go to Zillow. First of all, the search function is not even great. You can only narrow down in 50,000 increments. You can't really narrow your search down. And the information's old. So you're going to fall in love with a home that is already sold to somebody else. Not only that, we all know the story of Zestimates. So we know how to talk to our consumers about Zillow, but now we also have to do what Zillow does really well. Zillow does something really well, and we have to be better at it as real estate agents. And that is, we have to stay in front of people. We have to stay in front of buyers and sellers all day, every day, emails to them constantly, so that when they get their inbox each day, they're receiving something from us. And that's what Isaac and Real Scout do. So Isaac is a set it and forget it CRM system where you put everybody you know, buyers and sellers, into the system. Not only buyers and sellers, literally everybody you know. First, start with who would you invite to your wedding? If you were getting married tomorrow, all those people go into the database. Who are all your neighbors? Go put all of them into the database. Who are the people coming to your open houses? Put all of them in the database. Who are the vendors? We already talked about vendors a couple of times. Put them into your database. So your database is your gold in this business. The database is what makes your business consistent over time. So yeah, maybe right now you're paying for leads because you're newer or you have to, but the goal is 5 years from now, you don't want to be paying for leads. The only way to ensure that is to make sure that you're building your own database. So the ISAC Act part of the $39 a month tech bundle is just a set it and forget it system to stay in front of people monthly. It does a few other things as really well too. The ISAC system we like for its simplicity. So number one, you can do a newsletter to everybody in your database once a month. We also have built out some cool like first time buyer campaigns in ISAC, so you could put somebody on a first time buyer campaign. Also, it does birthday emails. So if you put a consumer's birthday into ISAC, it will email the person on their birthday a little card from you. Same with home anniversaries. If you put a home anniversary date within the system, it will email them on the home anniversary. So that's the beauty of ISAC. It's a simple, easy to use email marketing system that keeps you in front of the customer monthly. I do always remind agents that if you're a LAER agent and you sign up for the $39 a month tech bundle, you get the basic ISAC. ISAC tries to sell you all these other services. You don't need them. So if they try to sell you other things like social stream or print newsletters or text marketing, in my opinion, you don't need them. You need the very basic service so that you're just staying in front of your sphere of influence, and so you have a home, a place to put your sphere of influence, because your database is your gold. Your database is what you could potentially sell someday if you ever decide to sell your business. And most importantly, your database makes your business consistent. We already talked about the website. Don't labor over having a super perfect website. People are not going to a website, in my opinion, to search real estate. The most important piece of the $39 a month tech bundle, and I'm going to have Ashley come on and talk to you guys about what this system can do, is Real Scout. So any agent can go buy this, by the way, for $39 a month. So if you're a LAER agent, you get it if you sign up for our tech bundle. If you're an agent at another firm, you can just sign up for individual for $39 on your own. And it makes it's actually a better search portal than Zillow is. And with that, I'm going to invite Ashley, who helps train many of our agents on how to use this awesome tool, to talk to you guys about some of the capabilities of Real Scout. So welcome, Ashley.
Hi, Stacey. Thank you.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I have a little quick guide that I put together for everyone, and everyone on the call. I don't know the best way. Maybe we can have Sergio put it on LAER Agent Services, Stacey.
I think I'm going to put it, anybody, if you're using Real Scout and you want this guide, we have a page called laerrealty.com/class notes. It's not on there yet, but I'll make sure after we get off today's program, I'll add this guide to our class notes section. So you can go download it.
Okay, perfect. I'll email that on over to you and Sergio to upload. So I just put together a quick guide, 10 steps to start in Real Scout, getting on the platform and everything like that. So I'm just gonna go through this step by step. So the first step is downloading the app. Now, when you download that app, there's two versions. There's a client-facing version and an agent version. So if you are a LAER agent or an agent at another brokerage and you have the agent version, you want to make sure your version says Pro across the top. If it does not say Pro and it just says Real Scout Home Search, like this second image, that is the client or customer app. So there's two different apps. So just make sure the one for the agent, if you are an agent, says Real Scout Agent Dashboard, and it has the Pro across it. The agent version is also a black background, whereas the Real Scout home search for your clients is a white background. The images may vary depending upon if you have an iOS product or an Android product, but it is going to be the same basic name of the app. The images just might vary a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is each person, or each agent that uses Real Scout, they get a unique sign up link. And what this sign up link allows the agents to do is use this link right here. So you would go to Market My Real Scout platform on the top, and then you would click on this, and it's going to open a box right here. Your link is going to be yourname.realscout.com. You can copy it to your clipboard, or you can just hover your mouse over it, drag it, highlight it, copy it that way. What this allows is that you can put this on Facebook, you can put it in your email signature, and it allows people who are maybe thinking of selling their house, or anyone who wants to see what their value of the house is, to get a quick estimated value of their home. It's not a complete CMA like Cloud CMA or RPR. It's just a quick estimate. And again, it's another tool to get your clients off of Zillow and away from that Zestimate. This is a little bit more user-friendly, I feel like, as well, with the data and everything like that than Zillow. And on Real Scout, your information is not being sold like it is on Zillow, like Stacey mentioned earlier. The next thing is that if you are an agent and you are licensed in more than one state, you can verify your MLSs. So when I did this screenshot right here, because I am licensed in New Hampshire, Maine, and Mass, and I have my Real Scout linked to my Massachusetts MLS and my New Hampshire MLS, my data feed property class says cross MLS search. So if you are an agent that has multiple licenses and you have both licenses or all three licenses connected to your MLS, you would connected to your Real Scout, you would want to click this drop down and then select which MLS you want if they're looking at a particular state. Now, if they're looking in New Hampshire and Mass, like some of my clients do, and I set up a search for them, I just leave it on cross MLS search. And what that allows is that allows one search for one client between multiple states, between the two different MLSs, without having to go into each MLS, because each MLS is different, and creating a search in the two different MLSs. They'll get one search with the two states combined for the search criteria that you set up. So I did just a little disclaimer right here that if you are licensed in more than one state and you have multiple MLSs linked, the default setting is this cross MLS search. But if they just wanted Mass versus New Hampshire or Rhode Island or Connecticut, you would just have to scroll down and select which MLS you wanted to do that particular search for. Again, here's another snippet that just is me selecting MLS pin instead of the New Hampshire MLS. This is what your dropdown would look like. But if you are licensed in Rhode Island or Connecticut, as well as Mass, and you have those licenses, it would list whatever those MLSs are. I think Connecticut is Smart MLS and Rhode Island is CoreLogic, I believe. So it would just be whatever the name of those MLSs are. The same thing for Florida. The next thing is adding a client. So to add a client, you just click this giant add client button right here. It's going to ask you to create a new contact, or if you're creating an alert for a client that's already in your database, you could select existing contact and then select what type of alert you wanted to create for that client. But this is setting up a client. So you would click create new contact, enter their email, their first name, last name, their phone number is optional. The source, I always put in the source. So if it's an op city lead or a sphere of influence or a referral from a different agent, I would know that. And then I put that in my CRM as well. So when it comes time to doing the check request, excuse me, so that client is a referral or an op city lead and a referral fee is due. And then you would just click create client. And then once you click create client, it's going to bring you to these windows right here where you can add your criteria. So if you have somebody who's looking for sale properties, you can select for sale, you can enter the list price, a minimum price and a maximum price, min and max square feet, lot square or lot size. So if you have somebody who's looking for 5 acres, you can put a max of 5 acres in here. And then just go down because there's many different criteria that I can enter and I couldn't fit it all in this page. And one of the things that Real Scout allows you to search by that is not an MLS, and that's further in my presentation, is if you have somebody who's looking in a specific school boundary or specific school district, you can put that in this search criteria in Real Scout. And any property that matches your search criteria. So let's say you have somebody looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath home with 1,800 square feet and their max budget is $450,000. Anything within, let's say, Littleton School District, anything that is on market within that criteria will populate that is in the Littleton School District. So you can search that way on Real Scout, which you cannot do in MLS. So once you have the criteria all set up and established, the next thing is you're going to go up to the top right corner. You're going to click the save button right here. You're going to select a client. So if it's myself, I just did it for myself. So I selected myself. You can rename the search if you want to rename the search, or if you just want to call it My Safe Search, you can. But I always name my search the client's name. But since this was myself, I just did My Safe Search. The alert schedule, I put daily. So what the alert schedule means is that anytime a property comes on that matches the selected criteria for that client, or they have a price change, or they go under agreement, that client is going to get an email. If you have once a day selected, they're only going to get emailed once a day. They have ASAP as well. So anytime anything changes, that client's going to get an email right then and there. They have a couple other alert schedules and I forget the name of them. I think what I might do before I send this to you and Sergio is just do a little disclaimer of what all the alerts are. Because I just thought about that. And then what I do is I also select send copy to myself. So anytime my clients get an email of a new listing, a price change, or an under agreement, I'm getting that same email as them in my email inbox so I can see what's going on in their search as well. I did a disclaimer down here as well. And the alert schedule, I'm trying to see what I said. My menu is blocking. So the alert schedule is how often email notifications of property matches will be sent. So I have this set to daily every AM. Again, if it's ASAP, it's not going to have you select AM or PM. It's just going to go out automatically. So if you do daily, it's going to have you select AM or PM. But if it's set to ASAP, it'll just be sent automatically when that property comes on. Now, in Real Scout, there are a couple different unique ways that you can search for properties. So one of the ways that you can search for properties in Real Scout is when you are creating the search, you can draw your own outline. You can draw a polygon of a specific area. So you would just click on the polygon, which is the top one. You would click one, whoops, go back. So you would click in this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. So you'd have 4 points. And then what's important is you have to close your point. So from the fourth point to your first point, you need to connect those as well. If you do not connect those, your square or your shape will not be complete and you will not be able to set up a custom search. You have to have that fourth dot connected to the first dot that you put on there. The next one is you can draw a rectangle, again, the 4 points, connect your fourth one. And then the last one is the radius. So if you have a client who's looking within 5 miles of, let's say, where their current house is in a particular town, you would just click on the circle, which is the last one. You would click anywhere on the map, and then you would just draw out the circle until you got to the radius that you wanted to. And when you're expanding the circle with your mouse, there's an arrow with a number and it tells you how many miles you're expanding out your circle. So that way you can know the radius. So this is where you could also search by the school district or a particular school name, which I mentioned before. So if you want a particular school district, you can write it in here. If you want a particular elementary school, high school, or middle school, you can put it in here as well. If there are no listings in that area that match your search, then there will be 0 results and you may have to go back and tweak your search results. So maybe you need to increase your price a little bit, or you need to decrease your square footage or increase your square footage. It all depends on what's on the market in that particular area. You can also search by a particular zip code, county, condo association name, development, or subdivision. So if you have a particular client that, let's say, wants to be in, I know in my area, Megan's Meadow, Rosecliff are popular neighborhoods. You can put that neighborhood name in here, and anything within the established search criteria that is on market will be a match to that criteria for that client. Now, sometimes you will set up a search for a client and they'll say, hey, Ashley, you know, we've been seeing houses, but nothing's really piquing our interest, or it's not exactly what we're looking for. Can we update our search? The answer is of course. You can always update your client search. So when you're on your dashboard on the left, you're going to see this menu. To update a search, you select the contact. So you would click contact, and then it's going to bring you to all of your contacts. You would click on the contact name. And then right here, there is an edit button. So once you're in that client profile, there's an edit button to the right of the screen. You click on the edit button and then edit filters. Once you click edit filters, it's going to bring you back to the search criteria, and you can go ahead and make any edits that you want. So if it's increasing their price or adding more towns, taking away towns, you can go and edit that search all right here. And then once you edit the search, you want to make sure you click save on the top right. Anytime you change anything, make sure you click save. If you do not click save, it's going to revert to the original search that you created. Once you save the search, it's going to ask you if you want to email these listings to this client. So you can type in a subject line saying your new home search or your updated home search, whatever name you send for your search criteria or your new listings to your clients, you can put that in there. And then optional, add a custom message for your client here. You can go ahead and type a little email to them and then send now, and it will send your clients any listings that currently match their search or any updated listings that match their updated search. So that is how you can update your client's search once the search is already established. The next thing that I really like that Real Scout started to do, maybe a little more than halfway through last year, is this auto nurture feature. And what auto nurture does is it will make sure that your contacts are always getting some type of email. So if they're on a search and there's no properties on market that match their search, they're still going to be getting relevant and engaging real estate information from you through the Real Scout platform, because they will be automatically put on a drip campaign created by Real Scout. The only thing that you need to do is on the left, go to auto nurture, click on this auto nurture button right here, and then make sure it's enabled. So if you have it disabled, it's going to say enable auto nurture right here on the bottom. Mine was enabled, so it said automation status enabled. Again, I love this feature because if there's, like right now, we have a very low inventory of houses. So right now, even though my clients may not be getting a match every day, they're still getting relevant real estate information. They're getting relevant listings because they are included in this auto nurture drip campaign that Real Scout creates based upon the search criteria that you have set up for that client for that particular area. Again, it's a great way to keep in touch with your clients. And I call it kind of a set it and forget it system like Isaac, because, you know, I don't have to worry if, okay, there's very low inventory, or my clients still getting real estate related listings or relevant information to me. The answer with this auto nurture feature in Real Scout is yes. So I'm also staying top of mind. And another thing with this auto nurture is that if there's not enough data, the auto nurture will create an email campaign with relevant listings automatically. So if you don't have enough data, you don't have to worry. Real Scout will do the hard work for you and create that drip campaign. The next thing that you can do for either buyers or sellers is a monthly market activity report. And this is an alert. So if you had a client already set up, you could set this up two ways. You could click the add client or add alert button on the top, or you could go down to the left and click market activity alert and create it this way. The next step to create it is on this map. Once it opens, you can either enter the town or you can draw an area in a specific town. Once you have your area or your specific town, you can enter the maximum price and the minimum price right here. So if we have somebody that's looking in the $450,000 range to the, say, $600,000 range, we would use that as our minimum and our maximum. We would go ahead and click the next button. Once you do that, it's going to create a report like this. This report is going to show you the number of buyer interactions and the number of active buyers in this particular area of Manchester. And this was for the last 90 days. So again, you can change the frequency to the last 30 days, the last 60 days, the last 90 days, the last 180 days. And I think it goes all the way back up to 18 months. So you could see the history of how many active buyers are in that area and the number of buyer interactions within this specific area. Again, you can draw a radius or you can pick a town, but if you want a specific area in a specific town, you would just click on the plus until you get to the area that you want, and then you would draw your shape. Now, these colors right here show where the buyers were most densely looking for that specific time. This is also called a heat map. And what I like about this little map right here is that the further you go down on this screen, is it shows you the number of buyers over time. So if we were to go on to a specific day and we hovered over this line and this dot right here, it would give us the number of buyers for that specific week or that specific day. This report also shows us top viewed listings. Excuse me. And what I like about this top viewed listings is if I have a client who's debating putting in an offer or not, I'm gonna come into Real Scout. I'm gonna pull a market activity report for the particular section of town that that property is in. I'm gonna see the number of active buyers. I'm gonna see the number of buyer interactions. And I'm also gonna see if the property is a top viewed listing right here, because if it's a top viewed listing, that means that there's been multiple people looking at this house, multiple engagements with this house, and it's gonna change how I maybe advise my clients to submit their offer. We might go in a little higher than we typically would. We might offer more earnest money. We might do a quicker close, like a 30-day close instead of a 45-day close. So I use this as a strategic plan when I write offers, as well as when I'm about to list a house or I'm doing a comparative market analysis for clients that are listing their house. I'm gonna pull a report on this and I'm gonna gauge how active is this area? How active has this area been in the past 2 months and in the past 3 months to properly price the home? I also use this same idea for that as well. And then this same report also shows you anything that was recently sold and anything that was recently listed or any updated listings. And again, it's just going to give you all of the features of the home, the square foot, the number of beds, the number of bathrooms, how long it was on market, and the status, if it's for sale, if it's under contract. All of that would be in the recently listed or the updated listings. And if it was recently sold, it's gonna say what it sold for right here. And then it will say on site. So when it was put on Real Scout, it's also going to say that for anything that was recently sold as well. The 9th tip to use in Real Scout is kind of what I just went over with the market alert for buyers, is how to properly price a listing using this heat map. It's the same idea. So you would just create the report the same way that you would for buyers for the market activity alert. So I just made a note that you could see the step 8 for this, because it's the same idea. You're just using this report in a different capacity as to how to properly price a home based upon the market activity. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer that all of this data is only the data pulled from Real Scout. It's not data that's pulled from MLS. So yes, the listings get into Real Scout from MLS, but in MLS, they can't really keep track of how many buyers are in a particular area. So this data that says the number of active buyers and the number of buyer interactions is only from the Real Scout platform itself. It is not data pulled from MLS, just Real Scout platform. And then the last thing that I put in here is, why is Real Scout better than a website such as Zillow? Because you get above average search experience for your clients, such as search in a school zone or a particular neighborhood or a particular condo association. You will also get new property alerts daily or when the properties hit the market. The property search emails are filled with photos. And again, in those emails, your clients can like it, they can dislike it, they can like certain features about the house, they can dislike certain features about the house, all by clicking either a heart or a thumbs down. And in your Real Scout dashboard, it will tell you, Ashley Gendro, she loved the kitchen, she loved the area, she loved the backyard, she didn't like the school district, or she didn't like the yard size, she didn't like the neighborhood. You can see all of that data on your Real Scout dashboard. If you are a LAER agent and you have Real Scout and you want some more in-depth training on Real Scout, go to laerrealty.com/briefings. Go ahead, fill out the form, select what type of briefing you want. It's a 30-minute call, one-on-one call, and we can dive into Real Scout and I will answer any questions you have about Real Scout, or if you are looking to set up something, I can go ahead and help you set up the proper alert. And I'll have Sergio put the link in here, or I can put the link in here in a minute for you LAER agents. The last thing is that there's also a mobile app. So if you're out on the road and you have clients texting you saying, hey, can we look at this house? You can go ahead, go into Real Scout, look at the house, because sometimes MLS apps don't work or they're not very user friendly. Real Scout, love it, very handy. I use it all the time when I'm on the road to look up a property quickly, or if I need to look up the listing agent information. And then one last thing is that you can integrate it with your lead platform. So if you have Isaac and you want to integrate it into your Isaac, you can do that. You can integrate it to realtor.com, Zillow, stuff like that. So Real Scout is a very useful platform for searching, and it does a lot more than just search. So that's a quick overview of what Real Scout can do. If you are a LAER agent, like I said, just do the laerrealty.com/briefings, and I'd be glad to help you with your Real Scout questions that you have.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Okay, we only have about 25 minutes left, and I'm going to take you guys back to our program guide because we still have a lot of content to share with you guys. So the Real Scout piece was the last piece of the technology section. And the reason we spend so much time on it is because this is how you can eliminate the problem of Zillow from your business. Every time you talk to, I feel like real estate agents once a day should be having a conversation with customers about why the customer should not be on Zillow, whether they're a buyer or a seller. They should not be on Zillow doing their home search. We want to get them off of that. And that's why I love Real Scout. I said to you guys earlier that if you haven't done this yet, if you haven't signed yourself up as a buyer on Zillow, it's really interesting so that you can see from a buyer's perspective what they get, why buyers like it so much. And I believe that one of the reasons why buyers like it so much is because every day they're getting new listings, even when there's no listings to look at. So what I mean by that, and this is what Real Scout does as well through that auto nurturing campaign, is Zillow each day. So the consumer goes in and picks out where they want to buy a house, and in very broad strokes, what kind of house they want. That's why I said you can't do a very narrow search on Zillow. It's a big search. Why? Because Zillow is not in the business of helping the customer find a home. Zillow is in the business of making a referral fee or income off of paying agents. So the interest is not in finding like a very specific home. So, but what Zillow does is once the consumer signs up and picks the general vicinity they want to buy in, do you think Zillow only sends them houses that are within that range? Absolutely not. Because in many markets, there's not enough inventory within the range that the buyer has selected. So if you go into Zillow and set yourself up as a buyer and you say, I only want houses in this area that are between 400 and 450,000. If there's no houses that come on the market in a day between 400 and 450, Zillow's still going to send you listings. They're just going to find something that is kind of close to what you're thinking about. So it might go one town over if it has a new listing within the next town, or it might go a little bit higher in price range. And that's kind of what the Real Scout platform does too. In other words, when somebody's looking for a house, they just want to see real estate constantly. So this auto nurture campaign just makes sure that you're always sending them information. All right, third section here, we already covered this, so this will be super brief, is the career development section of LAER. In fact, under LAER Agent Services, I already went through the section on career development. So most of this we've already touched on. Cannot stress enough, we are so incredibly proud of our AlgoWin program because we're seeing agents that are newer in the business or have struggled for many years now closing 20, 25, 30 transactions a year because they're following the system. They just work off their workbook every day. And if you just work off the workbook, the business will come. What's cool about the AlgoWin system is it is a real estate system. So there's certain things you have to do in real estate. But also, I say this during a lot of our training, whether you believe this or not does not matter, but your energy is what also gets you business. So we are, as human beings, we are all energy. We attract what we think about, the energy we surround ourselves with matters. So there's energy stuff built into this. So that's not to say like there's anything in there specifically about manifestation, but we've intertwined that within the program. So for example, one of the checklist items that agents have to do each week is a list of 25 things they're grateful for. And that's because that gratitude is energy. So this system is unlike any other in the real estate industry because it's real estate focused and directed in that these are the things you must do, but it simultaneously aligns your energy for success. Because you can do all the other things in your business. You can appear to do all things correct, but if your energy is mismatched to what you want to be doing, then you are going to not manifest the business. I talked about LAER University. These are some of the most watched programs. So if you click on any of these, you can go watch. We just kind of compiled a list. Because there's so much training classes, we occasionally put out lists of the most highly watched stuff so that you can know it helps direct you. So for example, if you like mindset and manifestation classes, we have Change Your Mind, Change Your Life series or the Success Think series. If you want classes on doing more business. So these all take you over to LAER University. If you're watching a class in LAER University, it does make you register, and you just have to put in your email address. The only reason we do that, and by the way, it's for anybody, so any agent can enjoy the classes. The only reason we do that is because we kind of watch to see what agents like the most, so we can develop more of that content. I already went over the transaction blueprint page. Great resource for newer agents. And then if you're a LAER agent, you guys know, in addition to all the Zoom training we do, we also like to bring in trainers and speakers throughout the year. Last year, we brought Tom Ferry, a real estate coach and speaker, out to 2 events, one for Florida, one for Florida we did with our New World Title team, and then also we brought him out to New England for an event. We also have our upcoming award programs. We have one coming up in Florida, March 29th, and working on a date for our April one for our New England agents. I strongly encourage you to get out and network with other real estate agents. Be around people who are successful so that you can pick up their energy, first of all, but also by being around other people, you'll pick up business. Agents that have overflow business, you'll get new ideas, things like that. Also, if you're a LAER agent, we do have a phenomenal coaching program. It's really designed for agents that are doing less than $5 million a year in sales and wish to be doing more than $5 million a year in sales. We team you up with a coach. It is a group coaching program. We pay our higher performing agents to deliver the coaching to agents. You get a 250-page our coaching manual that we wrote, and it just gives you direction especially for the first 6 months, in which you have 2 coaching calls a month with a coach who holds you accountable to completing the lessons within the book. Finally, support. So what's super interesting about the real estate business is, first of all, it has a very low success rate. You guys already know that, I'm sure. You've probably had peers that came into the business and then quickly exited the business. It's a tough business. And in fact, the statistics say that 87% of people who get a real estate license are already out of the business within 3 years. That is the statistic. Now, in my opinion, that is because many real estate agents end up at a brokerage where they just simply don't have the tools, the training, the technology, the support they need when they need it. So we've developed a whole bunch of systems within LAER to make sure agents always get the support when they need it. Specifically, we're super proud of our Happy Agent system. This is our support team is available 7 days a week. And if agents need anything, you just email happyagent@laerrealty.com. One of our staff members gets assigned to the request so that you can get assistance as quickly as possible. And you're getting the assistance from somebody who's knowledgeable about what they're directing you on. We also have lots of cool stuff for collecting commission checks and escrow checks. We can do it all online. We pay out agents on through e-checks. This page is for everybody. So towards, it looks like page 33 of the booklet of our LAER program and services guide. One thing you'll see on this page is if you need business. Now, the goal in real estate is to build it up so that eventually all of your business comes from your own sphere of influence. That is the goal. Eventually, you need to be there if you want a sustainable business. But sometimes you need extra business to get you there. That's where you can pay for leads. There's lots of pay for lead services. So there's 2 types of pay per lead services out there. One is subscription based. Those are the ones that you pay monthly and you will get leads, such as Zillow, Boomtown, Sync, Set Schedule. You pay a monthly fee, you get leads. I am personally not a huge fan of those because you can pay for a very long time and not have great results from it. I am a fan, however, of referral fee-based lead platforms. Referral fee-based lead platforms are companies that you sign up to receive leads, and you pay a referral fee if that person closes. Now, are they super expensive? 100%. They're usually 35 to 40% of the income goes directly back to the referral company. However, they're kind of phenomenal in that your job as a real estate agent is to turn that person into a raving fan who refers you their friends, their family, their next door neighbors. So under the referral fee-based lead platforms, I say sign up for them. Of course, pay the referral if that person ends up selling a house or buying a house from you or selling a house through you. But also, let's turn each person that you work with into a raving fan who's going to send you other business on which no referral fee is owed. So all these are live links. You can click on each one of those and it'll take you to the sign up page. You'll need all your brokerage information, license numbers and stuff like that. But I think it's this is one of those things that you should work on, like go execute on, is just sit and sign up for each one of these so that you have some extra business coming in throughout the year. We also have a phenomenal in-house transaction coordinating team. This is really for LAER agents that hate paperwork. Now, I will tell you, most of our agents do their own paperwork. They don't hire a transaction coordinating team. But this transaction coordinating team has resulted, it's really great for an agent that is moving to a stage in their career where they kind of need more time. And that's what a transaction coordinator can do, is free up more time. Our transaction coordinators are phenomenal. They charge $400 per transaction. And they get introduced into the transaction as an assistant to the deal so that it takes time off the plate of the agent. Again, it's not mandatory. It's only for agents that want it. And then if you're a LAER agent, I always say all the good things we have at LAER are a byproduct of the committees we have. So we have several committees that meet throughout the months and throughout the year. And they're the ones that dictate the tools, the training, the technology, things that we offer within the brokerage. So if you're an agent that likes to have a voice in the future of the company, then head over to laerrealty.com/committees and sign up to be part of one of our committees. I also mentioned normally we have Craig Foley, our Chief Sustainability Officer, on our boot camp each month. He is on vacation. He was leaving for vacation today, so we don't have his presence here, but we do have a phenomenal sustainability team that he does classes, etc., to show you how you can build sustainability as a niche within the business. So within your real estate business. So we have lots of resources available for agents that are green designated. You can find them under the green section over at laeragentservices.com. And then I just want to talk for a second about being a realtor. I know that there's lots of people, there's supposedly another organization coming out. I think that it's important to be a realtor. I'm a huge proponent. I've been a realtor for more than 25 years. And one of the things that I think we sometimes forget is that there are lots of companies that no longer really exist like they used to. So you think about like the yellow taxi industry or the travel agent industry, even hotels. Like the hotels don't exist the way in which they used to because of Airbnbs. There's lots of industries that are changing. And one of the reasons why I think the realtor real estate business has remained so strong is because through the realtor organization, we can stick together as an industry. We can stick together and put our money towards important causes through the lobbying arm of the National Association of Realtors and come up with best practices and things like that. So I feel that one of the reasons why real estate is still so strong as an industry is 100% tied to the National Association of Realtors. Now, that being said, you have to get value out of it for your business as well for it to be worth it. And so the value that I tell agents that I think is pretty phenomenal is RPR, the Realtor Property Resource, which is a phenomenal CMA tool, market analysis tool for both residential and commercial, by the way. And that I tell agents, if you're using that in your business, because it has all kinds of little pieces that you can implement, that tool is easily worth $600 a year to utilize. So if you're using that, you're getting your value out of being paying the $600 a year. But the real important things are the National Association of Realtors protect our ability to do business. They protect homeowner rights. So for example, I've been in the business long enough that when foreclosures were prevalent, at that time, if you were foreclosed on, originally the IRS wanted to keep, if you were foreclosed on and so didn't pay your mortgage. So let's just say that a big chunk of your mortgage was forgiven or not paid for, you would have had to pay income taxes on that forgiven or foreclosed amount that was forgiven. And it was the Realtor Association that came out and protected homeowner rights and said, listen, they're already, somebody that's going through that process is already in financial dire straits. We can't also now ask them for income taxes. So they protect homeowner rights. They set the bar for our industry. They advanced the technology that's available for our industry. Is it a perfect organization? Absolutely not. But that being said, they do a lot to further our industry. You guys can come back and watch this anytime, by the way, or join us again next month. You can always join us at laerrealty.com/bootcamp if you want to sign up again next month. But also don't forget to go sign up for our YouTube station. Just press subscribe, and you can watch the rerun this afternoon. So that is it for today's program. I do want to give a quick shout out. More than half the agents that attended today's program we had about half that were LAER agents and about half that were from other brokerages. If you are with another brokerage and you like some of the stuff that you saw today, I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you about your career, even if we don't yet have an office in your marketplace, because we are expanding rapidly as an independent organization. For real estate agents and also broker owners, we have a phenomenal partner program where we've helped offices go from 5 agents to 40 agents because of the tools, the training, the support, the technology that is available for our team members. So if that is something you're interested in, more information, you can always email us at happyagent@laerrealty.com. That will get it assigned to me, Stacey Alcorn. I'm the founder and CEO of LAER Realty. As well, I want to say thank you to all of our LAER agents who showed up today. I have a feeling that everybody today got a nice helping of information that can take you to really great places for 2024, as long as you execute. So make sure you take that piece of paper you've been taking notes on, turn it into the 5 things you're going to go execute on today. And with that, I want to thank everybody for your time today and wishing you a wonderful spring market. It's only days away. So thank you, everyone.